AITA for walling off my backyard because I dislike two kids and depriving everyone else as a result. I sure feel like TA, but I don't think I am, so help me out here. I live in a non-English speaking European country, and because of history that means land borders between properties are sometimes very weird. Well, that is the case with my house and the neighbors. All our houses are about the same size, yet out of all the land behind our houses, my area is huge. I own like 90% of all land. They're reaching all the way to the woods far behind our houses. Meanwhile, all my neighbors essentially got tiny strip right behind their houses. Now the part right behind my house is fenced off, yet the rest is pretty much open, and my wife and daughters like to use it for gardening. The field is used by most of the neighborhood boys to play football on, as it is the only flat piece of grassland around. They always ask for permission to use it beforehand, and I always allow it on the condition I get no complaints if I tell them to leave and they don't litter. I also recently had a pool installed to the far back of my property and fenced it off. This is important later. Well, this is where the issue starts. Recently, a new family moved in, and they seem to think it is public land. I kept catching their kids running around through the flowers and vegetable garden, and they even moved their grill on the field and held a picnic on my land. I keep telling them off and informing it is my land, but they just ignore me, and the kids sometimes won't leave when I tell them to. A month ago, the kids even climbed over the fence around the pool, and when I got them out and went to their parents, they just said, "Oh, we figured it was a public pool." I had hoped that was the end of it, yet these people built a fire pit in the 3 days I was away from my house, and when I got back I found it with a bunch of empty beer cans around. That was the last straw for me, and I hired a company owned by a buddy of mine from when I used to do construction work, bought all the supplies, and 7 days later and a lot of money later my entire property was walled off, and whenever anyone asked I told them why I was doing that and who they could thank for it. Well, now the new family is treated as if they are a pest, and all the neighborhood kids are gutted they lost their football field, which has resulted in them picking on the new neighbors. Kids, I honestly feel pretty terrible, but I also feel like I gave them plenty of warnings before taking drastic actions. Story 2. AITA, but I am pretty sure I am by spreading a rumor to their sister. Now for reference, I attend a small private school and I am in my last years of high school. I am relatively well known and work as a director for my current play. For reference, I had someone cause a pretty popular rumor where they were in the spotlight after there was a complaint from their parents about underlying racism about a science professor. This science professor teaches biochemistry and has a thick Vietnamese accent. As a result, he is sometimes difficult to understand. However, I have heard he is incredible. I have a different teacher. Nonetheless, this text message went around basically my entire grade after being posted to a public parents group chat. Now, I had only heard about this through a lot of my friends. My mom and dad never told me about this. Fast forward to now, where I'm directing their sister without finding out they were related till today. I was discussing the assessment when biochem came up, and they finally mentioned their sister's name. I mentioned I knew they were struggling and my memory blacked out. I have a tendency to not think before I speak because of impulsiveness. Now, I never mentioned the racism bit, I am sure, but I know I mentioned this rumor without directly saying rumor. More specifically, the part of the rumor of her dislike against Prof. For his accent. Now, this evening I am getting messages, and she is claiming she's going to go to school authorities. So I am presuming I messed up big time. However, you don't just delete a rumor, specifically one almost everyone knows, and I presume the sister knows as well. I feel like the school authorities are harsh for a rumor, since there are more often than not rumors. Also, this family is not known for being the nicest and taking an extreme. They were planning on spreading their comment to the newspapers. Story 3. AITA for telling my HOA to off because my son violates their curfew. My HOA imposed a 9:45 p.m. curfew for those under 18 in our HOA, mostly because of minors drinking and doing drugs in a park and playground. I think there may have been some graffiti and vandalism. Seems pretty reasonable, right? To over everyone else for the actions of a few, which PTW has done nothing to stop whoever is doing this. The problem actually got worse after the curfew, but now, whenever kids lose track of time, they end up having to spend the night at neighbors' houses in fear of getting in trouble with the HOA for breaking curfew. This is as stupid as laws banning guns or drugs. I'm pretty sure that's unconstitutional, and there's talk of a lawsuit. My 17-year-old son works at a movie theater and comes home from work oftentimes at midnight or so. He has been asked by HOA board members why he's violating curfew, and he explains why. They said it doesn't matter and he's getting a warning. He told him to go to hell and he doesn't respect them or give a, I got a letter with a fine. I responded back and told him I'm not paying. I got a visit from a HOA member and he told me I'd be getting fined as long as my son violated curfew. I told him to eat and close the door. I'd like to see them bring this to court. They keep coming to me and I just slammed the door on them. Story 4. AITA I called out my husband on being misogynist. I and my husband have been married for 5 years. I was a sawa for the past 6 months. I did the cooking while my husband did all the cleaning, laundry and other tasks. 2 months ago, he said that he doesn't like to have to do all the chores that he had to do previously while me being a sawa. So he suggested me going back to work and him becoming a stay-at-home partner. I thought it would be a good idea to let him understand for himself how hard housework is. So I agreed and started working at a startup company. I expected him to call quits after like a week or so, but he didn't complain at all. In fact, he even found time to do a course online after doing all the housework by himself. He never asks me for any help with cooking, cleaning, laundry, etc. I asked him if he was trying to keep up appearance by not asking for help. He said he didn't find it difficult, and that it was actually relaxing to stay at home, rather than going to office every day. So I called it misogynistic for faking it just to make me do all the chores at home. He said I was just annoyed at not being able to be a sawa anymore. Story 5. AITA for making my daughter eat salad while my son gets chicken nuggets. I have 2 kids, a 7-year-old son and a 9-year-old daughter. Every other week I take them to activities in a certain mall, and in between we go to a local fast food chain in between. Now I usually have my kids have a healthy diet, but for those rather rare occasions, I let them choose whatever they want. I don't believe going to a fast food place but then restricting their order so they won't enjoy rather unhealthy food makes sense. So the kids' menu comes with many different options, and the menu even has pictures of all the food. They go every week so they know. My son chose chicken nuggets and fries as the main, a drink and a cookie for dessert. Just what I would have expected. My daughter picked the chicken Caesar salad. I did not expect that, asked her if she was sure, explained it did not come with fries, she loves fries. She insisted. Last time I had the salad, and she tried one of the croutons and a piece of chicken and loved them. I did not care too much, and a Caesar salad is great. It's not like just snacking a few salad leaves like a rabbit. There is sauce, cheese, chicken, fried chicken, and croutons as extras. Plus, she had the ice cream for dessert. Well, the food came, we sat down, and after taking a few bites, she started complaining about the food. She saw my son eat his chicken nuggets and dip the fries in sauce. She asked him for one. He let her try the fries and gave her a nugget as he usually can't finish all anyways. Then she decided that instead of the salad she wanted fries now. I said no, she has to eat the salad. Or well, I would not make her eat it, but I won't buy her fries instead. My argument is that she choose it. She is old enough to make that choice and there is nothing wrong with the salad. It looks delicious. I even offered to give her some of my meal, a baked sandwich. But she wants nuggets and fries now. She started throwing a fit. I ignored it, told her to sit and eat or at least stop screaming now, or there would be consequences. Some old lady heard her, and I guess she picked up the "it's not fair that he gets nuggies and fries, and she has to eat that stupid salad." Well, the lady went off on me. How I am treating my kids unfairly, and how I should not body shame my daughter. I told her to get out of my business and shut up. She does not know what she is talking about. Note, my son is extremely slim for his age. He is a very active child and quite tall. He is underweight, but his doctor said it's nothing to worry about as long as he is eating normally. It can be that way for kids his age. My daughter is on the heavier side of average. The doctor is also not much concerned here. Her weight is within what is okay, just on the higher end of that. So it might have seemed like it was because my daughter is not as extremely skinny that she did not get the fried food, which is not what happened. AITA for making my daughter the salad she chose instead of buying her nuggets and fries like her brother.